new plants and animals. This building, then the Amsterdam Town Hall, still attests to the hardy self-assurance of its 17th century architects. Its lavish crystal adornments still reflect the glittering pride they felt in their accomplishments and their prosperity. It took shiploads of marble to build this place. Constantine Huygens, a poet and diplomat of the time, said that this town hall dispelled what he called the Gothic squint and squalor. The Middle Ages had ended. The Enlightenment had begun. Up there, do you see, is Atlas supporting the heavens on his shoulders. And beneath is Justice with a golden sword and golden scales, flanked by death and punishment. And who is it that Justice is trampling underfoot? Why, it's avarice and envy, the gods of the merchants. The Dutch knew that the unrestrained pursuit of profit posed serious threats to the soul of the nation. A less allegorical symbol is down here on the floor. It is a great inlaid map stretching from West Africa to the Pacific Ocean. The whole world was then Holland's arena. In a typical year, many sailing vessels set out halfway around the world for the Far East on voyages of exploration and discovery, of trade, journeys taking years to accomplish, down the west coast of Africa, through what they called the Ethiopian Sea, skirting the southern coast of Africa, through the Straits of Madagascar, and on past the southern tip of India to the Spice Islands, present-day Indonesia. Another set of voyages went south and east to New Holland, later renamed Australia. And still other journeys ventured through the Straits of Malacca to the Empire of China. But Holland was a small country forced to live by its wits. There was a strong pacifist element in its foreign policy. Never before or since has Holland boasted such a galaxy of scientists, mathematicians, philosophers, and artists. This was the time of the great painters, Rembrandt and Vermeer. Because Holland was tolerant of unorthodox opinions, it was a refuge for intellectuals fleeing the thought control and censorship of other parts of Europe, much as the United States benefited enormously in the 1930s from the exodus of intellectuals from Nazi-dominated Europe. And so it was that 17th century Holland was the home of the great Jewish philosopher Spinoza, who Einstein admired so much, of René Descartes, a pivotal figure in the history of philosophy and of mathematics, and the home of a political scientist named John Locke, who was to have a powerful and profound influence on a group of philosophically inclined revolutionaries named Paine, Hamilton, Adams, Franklin, and Jefferson. The Dutch University of Leiden offered a professorship to an Italian scientist named Galileo, who had been forced by the Catholic Church under threat of torture to recant the heretical position that the Earth went around the sun and not vice versa. Galileo had close ties with Holland. His first astronomical telescope was based on a spyglass of Dutch manufacture, and with it he discovered the craters of the moon, the phases of Venus, and the 4 large moons of Jupiter. Becoming an exploratory power